Hello everyone, thanks for joining. I welcome you to the presentation of Wavecon Telecom Analysis, which is a part of the Codebasics virtual internship week 2 task 4. I'm a data analyst intern at Atlic Technologies and I'm here to share few insights about our client Wavecon. Before diving into the presentation, let's get some basic idea about Wavecon. Wavecon is one of the leading telecommunications company in India which ranks third in the market share of telecom industry. They have launched their 5G services in the month of May 2022 along with their competitors. So we have conducted the analysis using the data from January to April, that is before the launch, and from June to September, that is after the launch. Our objective for this presentation is to answer few crucial questions asked by the stakeholders and present them the insights for those. Hence, we will answer those questions by discussing the impact of 5G launch on company's revenue, identify the underperforming KPIs after the 5G launch. We will analyze the plans in terms of revenue which have performed well and which have not performed well. Then we will also analyze the impact of specific plans and should we continue with those plans or not. And last but not the least, we will also analyze the discontinued plans and what was the reason for their discontinuation after the launch. To begin with our first insight, that is impact of 5G launch on revenue, we can notice the revenue before 5G was rupees 15.977 million and revenue after 5G was 15.897 million, which indicates a slight decline of 0.5% in the revenue. We also have top 5 and bottom 5 cities in terms of their revenue contribution. Mumbai is leading the revenue chart, whereas Gurgaon and Raipur comparatively have contributed low to the revenue. Moving to the next insight, that is the underperforming KPIs, we have identified two KPIs. Number one is active users and number two is unsubscribed users. Let's first talk about active users. So the total active users of Wavecon were 161.7 million, from which 84.4 million were before 5G and 77.4 million were after 5G. This helps us to derive that there's a significant decline of 8.28% in the number of active users after the launch. However, if we look at this line graph which shows the active users change percentage by city, we notice that Pune is the only city that has a positive change in the number of active users after the 5G launch. Moving on to the next underperforming KPI, that is the unsubscribed users. So the total unsubscribed users of Wavecon were 12.6 million, from which 5.6 million were before 5G and almost 7 million after 5G. This helps to derive that there's a significant increase in unsubscriptions from our services, which is about 23.5% of users who have unsubscribed from our services. And from this graph, we notice that almost 78% people from Lucknow have unsubscribed from our services after the launch. So we need to conduct surveys to identify the problem areas, as well as we can carry out competitor analysis to tackle this change. Also, if we notice, the Mumbai is the only city that has reduced the users from unsubscribing by almost 13%. The next insight is about revenue performance of the recharge plans that we offer. From this column chart, it is clear that plan P1 is the top performing plan even after the 5G launch. And whereas plans P2 and P3 are consistent with their revenue performance in both the phases. Among the newly launched plans, plan P11 and P12 have performed well, whereas plans P4, 5, 6 and 7 are the plans which are affected by the launch in terms of revenue. Next, we will talk about the impact on specific plans. So plan P7, from this column chart, it is very clear that plan P7 is the highly affected plan which has a revenue change of almost 73%. The reason for this decline is that this plan only caters to 3G or 4G service users. Hence, we can discontinue this plan so that we can offer better services through our other profitable plans. Talking about plan P5 and P6, they are moderately affected, around 35% change in their revenue, uh, because they offer limited talk time and limited data. So however, we need to continue plan P5 because it is the only full talk time plan in our recharge plans, and we can avoid the users who are dependent on this plan from unsubscribing our services. And plan P6 can be discontinued because we can offer better services through our other profitable plans. Now, let's talk about the discontinued plans after the 5G launch. From the column chart itself, we can see plans P8, 9 and 10 were discontinued after the launch. The reason for their discontinuation were the they were not performing well before the launch itself, as well as uh, they offered a very limited validity of about 1 to 3 days. Now this brings us to the last part of the presentation, that are the recommendations. So these recommendations can help in increasing our revenue, to retain the users and to offer better services. So the first recommendation is which is trending in the market right now is offering mobile subscription of any OTT platform on our high value recharge plans. Then we can offer referral programs in such a way that on successful referrals people can get extra data on their existing plan. Then we can extend the validity period of certain plans so that people can feel their remaining data is not wasted due to limited validity. We can also provide vouchers for movie tickets or provide vouchers of rupees 500 on their next recharge plan. And the one thing that every one of us waits every year are the seasonal offers and discounts. So we can offer those on our top plans. So this concludes my presentation, and I want to thank all of you for sticking around, for hearing me out. And I request you all to please provide your suggestions and your feedback in the comments below. I also want to thank Dhaval sir, Hemanand sir, and the entire team of Codebasics for giving me this opportunity and providing such a wonderful boot camp. I thank you so much. See you.